Welcome to the news for this, the 27th week of 2021. I'm Matt Miller. This is Trekzone. Well, before we get into it, a quick reminder that you can get behind-the-scenes goss and early access to all Trekzone podcasts by becoming a member today. Click the join button on any Trekzone video, go to the Trekzone/support, or put your phone up to the QR code that is on screen right now. Plus, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the podcast feeds and the YouTube channel. Wherever you listen to the podcast feeds, you want to subscribe there. You don't want to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Leave comments and ratings everywhere that you can do those things. Now, let's get into the news. Anson Mount has revealed on Twitter that production has begun on the final episode of the first season of Strange New Worlds. He goes on to say, quote, "Old school fans are going to be very excited to see what we're trying to pull off. This is in keeping with the messaging coming from the SNW sets, one of a semi-return to the original elements, a story of the week, but with serialized character arcs. We'll have to wait and see what's in store with the series, with the third live-action Star Trek series, in fact. It's in production right now, due next year." In another piece of box set news that's nice to have, but not exactly what we were after, Paramount Plus has announced they are going to be releasing the first 4 feature films in 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision and HDR10 color. The motion picture will be heading to the streaming platform around the same time with the director's edition, while bonus content, on the box set is the same as previously released. Meanwhile, US fans will get the opportunity to catch a theatrical re-releasing of The Voyage Home on August 19 and 22. Paramount Plus has announced 2 back-to-back panels for Comic-Con at home in a couple of weeks. Prodigy and Lower Decks will contribute half of the Mountains offering at the annual Comic-Con event ahead of the former's launch on August 12th. The entire voice cast for Prodigy will be in attendance, with Lower Decks' Jerry O'Connell moderating. Of notable absence, as the streamer focuses on their peak animation offerings, is any other series, including the live-action Star Trek series. Well, what a week on Trekzone it was. Let's press that button and say what a week on Trekzone. It was Talkin' Science Fest, seeing us virtually beam into parks. Questacon, Tidbinbilla and Southern Launch Australia, plus Dr. Brad gave us details about NASA's new experiments to do laundry in space rather than throwing out week-old undies, shirts and pants. This week, Aaron Vanderklay beams in. If I press that button, you don't want to see that temporary graphic again. This week, Aaron Vanderklay will be beaming in. His next Voyager-era fan film has started casting. Plus, we'll learn about satellite time for Earth observation in an Aussie first. Plus, of course, Dr. Brad is back for Talkin' Science and will return to Trekzone Plays with the cutscenes of Birth of the Federation. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe and ring the bell on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed in your favourite app and sign up for the mailing list on our website, of course. That is trekzone.org. 18 years old now. Just incredible. Leave a comment on YouTube too. Let's chat about the stories this week. But for now, and as always, I'm Matt Miller for Trekzone, podcasting for 8 years.
Keep up to date with Twitter. Catch new podcasts daily on YouTube. Plus, we're beaming to your favorite podcast app 5 days a week. Just search for Trekzone and subscribe.